Hello everyone and welcome back to Chapter 5 dedicated to final S consonant sounds in English. And as we talked about at the very beginning of the chapter in our warm-up, and one of our goals for this chapter is to review and explicitly go over the grammatical forms in which the final S is used in English. And you have those listed here at the top of page 34 in your textbook. The first form is the simple present tense, and I know that you covered this assuredly in grammar now that you're taking, or previously in adult ed or in your K through 12. When we talk about someone else in the third person singular, we add S to that verb. So for example, Dr. Adams teaches at 10 o'clock. He loves teaching. We add S to the verb teach because we're talking about Dr. Adams in the third person, talking about him. Love, we add an S as well because we're talking in the third person singular here. You can see some other examples in this left column of when verbs add an S when speaking about someone in the third person, he, she, or it. And then you have the regulars, spelling changes. Again, you've probably reviewed these in grammar before. Second grammatical form is when we talk about a plural noun. When we pluralize or express a noun as being more than one. We add an S in English for most nouns that are plural. For example, Liz loves her cats. She doesn't have any dogs. Cat is plural, we add an S. Dogs is plural, we have an S. We do have some irregularities with this, and they're kind of discussed up above here. But again, these are more grammar details than they are pronunciation details, so I'm not going to go over those in great detail. So we've talked about the S for third person for verbs. We've talked about the S for plural nouns. Now we're going to talk about the S for nouns when we want to indicate possession, what are called possessive nouns. To answer the question, whose is this? Is this yours? When we want to indicate possession in English, we add what we call an apostrophe and then S. Lee's bag is in Mike's car. Whose bag? Lee's bag. Whose car? Mike's car. So when we want to answer the question, whose is this? When we want to indicate possession, we add apostrophe S. And we don't just do this with people. It's common to do it with people, but we can do it for inanimate objects or common nouns as well. Again, this goes over more grammatical aspects, so we're not going to go over these in great detail. The last form where the S ending is used is for contractions. Don't get contractions confused with possessives. Possessives indicate possession. Whose is this? Contractions, however, is just an easier way to construct words, especially a subject and a verb. We contract them together to make one word for simplicity and also for pronunciation ease too. For example, he and is create a contraction, he's. He's going to China. He's traveled all over the world. Here are some other contractions, negative contractions. Are not become aren't. Can not become can't, etc. You have a variety of different contractions here. So those are the forms for which we add the S ending in English. Now here are the rules, pronunciation rules, with regard to these grammatical forms. And again, I'm on page 34. And I would encourage you to perhaps take a look at CD1 track 39 and play these and see if you can indicate which sound. Is it S? If we go to our interactive chart, do you hear this sound?
S, 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 s.
Does the final S sound more like a Z?
S, s, s.
Or is it a combination of the schwa and Z? So,
S, s, s.
sorry, both of those together. You'll see the grammar rules here. If the word ends in a voiceless sound, and remember we talked about it before in the beginning of chapter 5 and then also in chapters 3 and 4. Voiceless means no vibration. When you pronounce that consonant sound, there's no vibration when you pronounce it. Cat, t, 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 no vibration. Sleep, p, 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 no vibration. Mic, k, 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 just the consonant sound. Don't focus on the other vowel sounds or previous consonant sounds. We're looking at that underlying consonant sound. Those are all what? Voiceless sounds, no vibration. So when a word ends in a voiceless sound, we have an S sound. Pets, pets. Sleeps, sleeps. Mics, mics. Voiceless sound at the end, S sound for the final S. That's the consonant sound for that final S letter. Okay, so that's group 1. Voiceless sound at the end, S sound, S consonant sound for that letter. Group 2, if the word ends in a voiced sound. So remember, voiced is where there's vibration. Try these. Dog, g, 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 vibration there. Drive, v, 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 vibration. Lee, e, e, e. So it could also be with vowel sounds too. But anytime the word ends in a voiced sound, whether it's a consonant sound or vowel sound, we have a Z consonant sound for that final S letter. Dogs, dogs. Drives, drives. Lees, lees. So you notice voiced and voiced. This is a voiced consonant sound to go along with voiced sounds that precede it. This is a voiceless consonant sound to go along with voiceless sounds that precede it. So that can help you remember. Voiceless with voiceless, voiced with voiced, and then the last one is a bit more tricky. If the word ends in a hissing sound, so if it ends in a S consonant sound, or a buzzing sound, so more of the Z consonant sound,
S, s, s.
then you want to add what's called a schwa. Remember we talked about this in chapter 4 with stressed and unstressed vowel sounds. Oftentimes the unstressed vowel sound in English is what we call a schwa. You have that on your interactive chart right here. That's an unstressed vowel sound that is very, very common in English. And so anytime the word ends in a hissing sound, S consonant sound, or buzzing sound, again, would be the Z consonant sound.
S.
We add a schwa and then the Z consonant sound. Faxes, fax is. Teaches, teaches. Roses, roses. So maybe even not just the schwa. You can see it has schwa and z consonant sound, or the is, where are you? There you are. So either one of those, the or either way, you're going to get one of those two vowel sounds anytime the word ends in S consonant sound or a buzzing sound. Whew! Lot to go over for that one. But this is it, guys. This is the help. The different grammatical forms here, and then the different rules to follow. So I encourage you to listen to CD track 39, CD1 track 39, forgive me. And then we're going to go ahead and dive into some practice here. So these are the exercises that I'd like you to complete. Go ahead and click next further down in the module for chapter 5.